Hello, my name is Ian Jacobs, and this is my Protostomes project on the phylum Arthropoda and the organism the centipede, which I'll be discussing in this presentation. So the centipede, so essentially what is the centipede? So the centipede is a protostome that is part of the phylum Arthropoda, which are known for having very firm exoskeletons that protect them from a lot of harsh climate environments, as well as having very segmented bodies, frames, torsos, etc. And they're attached to the subphylum Myriapoda, and myriapods are known for having numerous legs, and having those legs attached to different segments of their bodies. So the organism is classified as the centipede. That's what its common name is. However, the name for the scientific classification is known as Chilopoda. And ironically enough, it's never been recorded to have 100 legs, hence the name centipede, which a lot of people think they would have 100 legs, but they don't. And the main difference between the millipedes and centipedes, because they're both attached to myriapods, is millipedes have their exoskeleton kind of covering them. They're herbivores, they eat plants, and their legs are facing down. Whereas centipedes, they're very carnivorous, have that predator-prey relationship, and they are known for their distinct mobility features, such as being very flat, fast, and flexible, and they have their legs facing outwards, whereas centipedes have their legs facing downward. So natural habitat, where do they live? Like I said before, they're part of the Arthropoda phylum, so they're known for having very firm exoskeletons that can protect them from any internal organs, that can protect any internal organs or body parts from any potential harsh climate changes. So they're not really condoned to one area, and actually have been spotted in many different regions in many different regions of the United States as well as the world. And they primarily do well in the desert area. They've been known to being a lot of species found in the desert area. However, almost all centipedes are found in areas that have are found in areas that have a high moisture. So a lot of forestry climates, you'll find them in very moist areas in the forest, such as under a log, rotting wood, or even in patches of leaves or grass. And they've been known to be an invasive species in moist areas in the household, such as like damp basements or even the potted plant. So how does it get its food, and essentially the predator-prey relationship that's going on here? So the centipede actually uses its pair of antennae and a pair of claws attached to their mouth to grab their prey. They're carnivores, so they'll feed on a lot of smaller insects, unlike millipedes, which are herbivores, so they eat plants. And the predatory process is a two-part process. And much like to echolocation, they'll use their antenna as sort of a sensory tool to see where a specific prey is at the time and see if it's the best target, because they don't have the best vision. So a lot of their other senses are increased. And the second part is they'll use their very slender body and fast motion with their moving legs to jump out at it and neutralize it by biting it with its two very sharp claws and injecting it with its prey, injecting it with its venom to essentially neutralize the prey and ingest it as a nutritional food source. And they'll eat a variety of other smaller insects such as cockroaches, mosquitoes, etc. And some unique and evolved traits that centipedes have is they're very flat and slender, which can make them very mobile and able to move into a lot of deep crevices and hard to reach spots, which are is very beneficial to them because they function well as nocturnal organisms, so they prefer the dark environment. Also, they're known for having very elongated, segmented, and flattened bodies. And most importantly, they have more legs than any other insects. Arthropods actually have a pair of legs for every body segment except their last. So they're very unique in having quite a few evolutionary traits that differ them from the remainder of the arthropod phylum, as well as other insects and protostomes. So where have they been placed on the evolutionary tree? They're actually been known to be primitive organisms. So they've been one of the first organisms to exist past the last universal common ancestor. And they've been dated back to almost 400 million years and have been thought to be one of the first organisms to exist, like I said, past that last universal common ancestor. And they've been thought to evolve from some kind of marine ancestor that shared a similar trait, kind of like the exoskeleton. So they thought they've evolved from some type of horseshoe crab or some type of vertebrate in that nature. And they've been around generally longer than any other insect or any other type of organism, hence the primitive title. And they actually have 5 orders attached to them, such as the ones that are listed here. So essentially the centipede in action. Here are a few photos of what the centipede looks like. And this video actually details how the centipede will move its very fast legs as soon as it sees a prey and jump over a lot of obstacles such as wood. As you can see, it's attached to like some type of forestry wood moisture climate because they thrive in area climates of high moisture, and they'll use their legs to jump out at the prey and inject it by biting it with its two very sharp claws and inject it with that venom and neutralize it as a target. So the importance to humankind in the ecosystem, they are able to control the population of other invasive species of small insects by decreasing them. And one of the biggest ones being mosquitoes. They decrease the mosquito population, which help humans, in fact, because not only is it decreasing the mosquito population and providing balance to the ecosystem, but it also helps prevents humans from getting malaria, which is it's a mosquito infested disease. Also, they're very harmful. Additionally, a lot of smaller insects are very harmful to the environment in that they're like pests to crucial livestock and crops. So these centipedes will eat these organisms and decrease that insect populations, and the crops will thrive, therefore giving us a better source of agriculture and having a better agriculture system. So it'll not only benefit the ecosystem, but benefit humankind in that sense. And the last point, it kind of does both as being recyclers to the environment, because they'll recycle, as you were, they will ingest and reduce dead decaying organic matter, which can be very harmful to plants. And so once they reduce that dead decaying organic matter, a lot of more plants will thrive, and we'll get a lot more oxygen as a source to live and thrive as humans. So it benefits both humankind and the ecosystem, and both in one, with the dead decaying organic matter and them being recyclers. And these are all the sources I used for the information that was listed in today's presentation. And thank you so much.